Alright, so what's so special about these? They look like power resistors, right? Well, they are. But they have a special characteristic. They're fusible. What's a fusible resistor? Well, you may be more familiar with them in this form factor, these sand-coated things with connectors on the end that they go into a socket. Or sometimes they look like this, or like this. They're typically used in TVs from the 50s into the 60s. Especially in sets that use selenium rectifiers, voltage doublers, transformerless sets. They're there for two reasons. One, to limit the inrush current when you turn the set on, and two, to act as a fuse if something goes bad, like the main filter electrolytic capacitor shorts out, they go open safely. Well, they haven't made them in decades, and not quite like this, and they're getting harder and harder to find, especially the 5.6 ohm type that are used in predictors, because of course there's a lot of interest in them, and they've gotten snatched up. There's one on eBay right now, rather nice looking. It's $20. I tend to go through a lot of these, so I am constantly trying to find a good modern alternative. And I've talked about this a bit in the past, and I've tried a few things. So the ones that's used in predictors in the 17-inch sets, it's 5.6 ohms. Well, I noticed that the PR series that I so often use, the PR01, 02, 03 from Vishay, the metal film resistors, are listed as fusible. In fact, most metal film resistors are inherently fusible, meaning that if their ratings are exceeded, they go open safely. They don't catch on fire, they don't explode, they just go open. So I ordered up some 5.6 ohm 2-watt resistors, thinking, these will work fine. Modern parts tend to be smaller than the old ones. These will be great, right? No, they roast immediately. So what I didn't know is, what the heck are the ratings on these guys? Yeah, this is 7.5 ohms. This is 5.6 ohms. What's the wattage rating? At what point do they go open? Well, experimentally, I figured, well, about 5 watts should do. So I did find a different series by Burns. These are 4.7s, and I got some 5.6s, 5 watts. And I mentioned these in some of my predictor restoration videos. These kind of work, but they're really right at the edge. They will start discoloring. They run pretty hot. Later, I found some actual specs on some of these, and it turns out that they should be 7 watts. Now, Burns does make this series that come in 7-watt flavors. Nobody carries them, not in the lower resistances. So I thought, well, okay, power is current squared times resistance. Can't do much about the current, but what if we use smaller resistance values? So 5 watt, 4.7. Well, these kind of roast a bit too. So hey, let's try 3.3 or 2.2. No, they don't make them. Not in 5 watt. Or they make them, but nobody carries them. The only thing I did find that kind of works are these, which are all the way down to 1.5 ohms, and I think these are only 2 or 3 watts, but these don't roast. There's also nowhere near as much resistance. They don't offer as much current limiting. So periodically, I search when I'm ordering parts to see, hey, is there finally something available that will work? And yes, now there is, at least on paper. TE Connectivity came out with a line of wirewound fusible resistors. I've never seen that before. Well, these are wirewound too, but like I said, they haven't made these in decades. These are all metal film resistors I was talking about. These are wirewound, and they're fusible, and they're 7 watts. So this should work out perfectly. So ordered up 10 4.7 and 10 5.6. Now, these won't drop right in. Typically, these are mounted in sockets, and these pins fit into them. Sometimes they look like nice rounded ones. Sometimes they're a little sort of hollow scalloped things. I can either salvage these, or you can put Molex pins on them, and that'll work out fine. Yeah, you got to bend the leads over, but they're long enough that they should work out just fine. Now, there's also a time-honored replacement that also works just fine, which is to take a resistor and put it in series with a fuse. Absolutely, that works, and depending on how you mount the fuse, put it in a nice fuse holder, make it accessible to the outside, easier for the end user to replace. But these should work out well too. I will try using them in some upcoming projects, and I will, of course, let you know how they work out, but they should work just fine. If you get 10 of them, they're less than $1 each, so that was a nice find, I think. Time will tell.